Broadcasting from Park Avenue West, you're watching WMFD Television, Channel 68.1, Mansfield.
This program discusses sensitive mental health issues, including suicide. Viewer discretion is advised.
Maybe an hour after we got the message that we lost Danny, Danny's sister said to us, we were all crying, and she says, "What do we do? What do we tell people?" And I'm like, "Baby, we got to tell them the truth. This is nothing that can be hidden, because otherwise the suicide will win."
We're not mental health professionals. It's just something that happened to our family. We direct people other places. And most important of all, I think, don't quit. Keep fighting. Keep living. Things will get better.
Good evening and welcome to Sparking the Conversation. We are Jeff and Donna Heck of 33 Forever, and we are so excited to be able to bring you more weekly half-hour messages, stories, resources, all surrounding mental health topics and challenges. Our show's purpose and definitely our hope is to provide you with information and inspiration, making conversations about mental health the norm.
Karen Spires is the CEO of Foundations for Living here in Mansfield. She's a master's prepared licensed independent social worker, and she's been with Foundations for Living for 18 years, serving as clinical director before becoming CEO. Chloe Montgomery is a residential therapist for adolescent youth at Foundations for Living. She's a licensed social worker with both a bachelor's and a master's in social work from The Ohio State University. Ladies, welcome to Sparking the Conversation. We're glad
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Well, we're excited to do that because as we were talking, preparing for the show, one of the things I really was struck by was I don't think our community knows very much about Foundations for Living. And I think it's sort of, and I said this to you before, a little bit of a hidden gem. So I think it's important that we get the message out about your organization. So Karen, start us off if you would. What is Foundations for Living?
Well, we're an 84-bed residential treatment facility for adolescents. So we treat youth between the ages of 10 up until the 18th birthday. We're licensed by Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, and we have a national accreditation from CARF. We have several programs. We have a Passages program, which is for young ladies between the ages of 11 up to 17. And they tend to be young ladies with mental health diagnoses that have self-harm and suicidal tendencies. We have a Visions program, which is a dual diagnosis program, meaning they have both mental health and substance use issues for young ladies between the ages of 11 up until 17th birthday. And a Journeys program for young ladies between the ages of 11 up to 18. And they tend to have both mental health and substance use issues, but are also survivors of human trafficking. We also have a boys program, which is our Passages 2 program for young men that are ages 10 to 15 that have mental health issues and tend to have more behavioral symptoms than maybe self-harm or suicide.
Okay.
Yeah, that's covers so much of the youth. And I'm thinking, as you're saying all this, what is the difference between Foundations for Living and, say, putting your child into Nationwide Children's Hospital for a mental health issue?
So Nationwide would be acute care short-term stay. We're more of a longer-term stay. So we get youth that haven't maybe succeeded in outpatient treatment or a medium level of care, maybe a group home setting. So these are kids that need long-term structure in order to feel safe enough to start to work through some of those wounds and start to heal.
I'm so sorry.
Ahead.
Chloe, you work directly with the girls, or
Yes,
is it? Okay.
the girls.
Tell us what a typical day is for a young lady maybe just coming into the program.
So I think at first a lot of the girls are scared. They're scared to be judged. They may feel hopeless. Sometimes when they come in, they may not realize that they need the help or want the help. And I think for them it's really hard to open up at first because of judgment or because of stigma, whether they've received that from parents, guardians, the community, whatever environment they're in. So what I like to do is I educate. That's my number one. I educate, the girls. I educate their caregivers just on exactly what trauma is, what suicidal ideations are. And I like to normalize that and really validate it, because without compassionately, validating, they're not going to feel safe enough to open up. And one thing that I think that parents and even, the youth struggle with is understanding what others may think of as attention seeking, as connection seeking. And, that attention seeking, or, what parents think sometimes, or caregivers think of as looking for attention, could be their coping skills. So whether that's self-harm, which is what I deal with a lot with my youth, hypersexuality, substance use, it's just a way for them to connect to themselves and to kind of cope.
Yeah, so it's really that coping mechanism, as you talk about, is so many times I know it happens with adults too, but as kids they do it early. They don't know how to cope with what's going on or has happened to them in their lives, and they turn to things that distract them, if you will, from some of the other things that they're having to deal with, which is sometimes some awful things in their lives that they have no control over. So, Karen, one of the things I want to talk about a little bit is you kind of touched on it, but the difference between an acute care setting and the residential care treatment option that you guys offer, which is a significantly longer term time. What's that look like really for somebody typically coming into the program?
So our average length of stay is about 158 days. It will depend on where the kid's from, what resources are available to them. So we may have a kid that's from a rural area where they don't have a lot of wraparound resources or psychiatrist available, or they aren't going back to maybe a structured environment or a secure home. So they may need longer treatment than maybe a youth who is coming from a community where there's a lot of resources there, and they're going to be able to step down maybe to an IOP, and they're going to a placement where there's a lot of structure. So I think your discharge looks different, but our average is about 158 days.
So kids are there a number of months.
Yes.
Kind of getting stable, if you will.
Right.
So I think that's a great introduction to what we're talking about. We do need to take our first break. So we'll be back with Sparking the Conversation right after these messages.
I wish my grandfather knew
how deeply his loss would be felt.
But if love could have saved you, you would have lived forever.
I wish she had the chance to grow up and learn more about what life had to offer her.
I am so glad someone reminded me that I'm worth it and will always be worth it.
I'm glad that I have people now that support what I want to do in my dream of helping other people.
Buy one, get one for $1 at McDonald's. Or as we like to call it, the can't have just one deal. Get a sausage McMuffin, sausage biscuit, sausage McGriddles, or hash browns. Get two of the same, or mix and match.
If you've been injured, whether personal injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you are not alone.
And you definitely don't have to fight alone. While you focus on recovery, let the Heck Law Offices focus on your case.
With over 45 years of combined legal experience, we understand your situation and the entire overwhelming legal process.
With an injury you're already handling too much, let our team be your advocate.
I'm Jeff Heck.
And I'm Jeff Stifler.
We're Mansfield's Injury Lawyers. Call us today or visit us at hecklawoffices.com.
Hey, I'm Lisa, and I love being a part of the Mix 106.1 broadcast team and weekday lineup. The fact that we are based locally out of Mansfield, it just allows us to connect to our listeners in a way that I feel most other radio stations have lost. The fact that I get to do something I truly enjoy every day, I feel incredibly lucky. You can hear all of your favorite music from Mansfield to Columbus to Cleveland on Mix 106.1.
¿Qué le dijo el pollo policía al otro pollo policía? Necesitamos apoyo.
This program discusses sensitive mental health issues, including suicide. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back. We are here at Sparking the Conversation with Chloe Montgomery, who's a therapist at Foundations for Living, and Karen Spires, who is the CEO. And Foundations for Living is a residential treatment center for the youth. Can you explain how a young male or female would be able to get to you if they needed help? What are the steps somebody would need to take?
Sure. We get referrals from county children's service agencies, juvenile courts, family first councils, parental referrals, and oftentimes hospital referrals. We could also have parental. They can call us, and we will help them find. We can't help them, we'll help them find the help that they need.
So Chloe, you talked about kind of what's a day look like, but what kind of services does Foundations for Living provide the average young person who's there and being treated on this longer term basis?
Yeah, so at Foundations, we're day treatment, which means that they will have 3 groups a day during the week, 2 on the weekends. They also have an hour at minimum, an hour of individual therapy and also case management. So they're able, to go throughout the day, especially with school. So that's really nice that they get to go to a separate part of the building and kind of, mingle with each other. And it gives them that sense of normalcy, I think, and that socialization. Yeah. So they have quite a busy day, and they learn life skills. So they do their chores, and it's really structured, and I think routine is really great for them because sometimes the kids who come in don't have structure.
We also have a psychiatrist who provides med management and to the kids.
Do they buck the system, quote unquote, and just say, I don't want to do this, and just kind of like sit there and be defiant?
Occasionally, yes.
Yep.
And so that's part about building the trust, I think, and feeling safe enough to do the work. But yes, but we have a lot of incentives in place to incentivize them to do the program. So usually once they feel safe, they start working.
Well, the other thing that I really liked about that description is it differentiates between being in a hospital setting and being with day treatment, which is that you are going to groups, but you're out and around, you're going to school, you're seeing your group therapy, you're seeing your counselors, you're seeing the people that you need to see, and you're sort of living life on that campus, if you will. Right. Which is your facility, which is located where?
Yes, exactly.
We're located at 1451 Lucas Road in Mansfield.
Okay, so just between Mansfield and Lucas on Route 39, right?
Right,
okay.
Real close to 71.
Yeah, very close.
Was it built prior to, built for something else before?
It originally was a TB hospital, and then it became Richland Hospital, so it was a psychiatric hospital for adults, and I believe they had kids too, possibly.
Okay. Yeah, that's the history of that building out there, that facility. So the other thing that, why do kids come to the program, would you say? Why do they show up, and in what circumstances? Obviously, we talked about a lot of conditions, but in what circumstances do you see them kind of come through the doors?
Yeah, so I see a lot of, in any of our programs, abuse, so whether that be physical abuse, sexual abuse, trafficking, different adverse childhood experiences, and I like to, educate on how those experiences are different for everyone and how they manifest differently in our youths.
We have a lot of severe trauma kids, so they've been through numerous traumas. They've lived in neighborhoods maybe that weren't safe. They've been sexually abused by more than one person. They've watched a parent overdose. They've been trafficked by their family for money before. So
it's heartbreaking to think that these young children are trafficked, and then they come and they find their way to you. And if somebody is trying to get their child or have a referral, how can they afford it?
So the state has made a lot of changes in the last few years to make it more affordable or to provide funding. So they can go through their Family First Council in their area, and so there's funding there. Also, there's called Multi-Systemic Youth funding. It's called MSY funding. So they could call their Family First Council, the mental health board in their county, and they can help them, connect with resources.
you know, the myriad of different problems that those young people come into your buildings with is really sort of stunning and heartbreaking. I'm sure you see that every single day, where no fault of their own, all of a sudden they're in the situation and their minds are just responding and reacting to the things around them. And I think the thing that I really was struck by, Chloe, as you were talking, was how you try to help them understand that they don't need to be stigmatized by that anymore, by maybe being in treatment, which is a good thing, help them escape. Talk about that maybe if you could.
Yeah, so I like to normalize these things because it's their way of coping. So like I said, whether that's, you know, substance abuse, self-harm, hypersexual behaviors, I think they feel ashamed sometimes that they do these things or they may engage in these things. And I try to look at what they're doing and what need it's fulfilling, what they're lacking, and find healthier ways to do that. But also just being non-judgmental, because, you know, they won't open up and they don't want to talk about their experiences and about their maybe unhealthy coping mechanisms if they feel they're being judged.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It does. Well, we're going to take one more break, and when we get back, I would like to kind of talk about some hope and some stories, but stay with us.
Catalyst Life Services, a comprehensive behavioral health organization, has been serving the community for 70 years. Our wide array of wraparound services and our ability to treat the whole person is what sets us apart. It's everything you need in one place: mental health, crisis, detox and addiction services, case management, and peer recovery support. We even offer vocational programming to get you back to work. Catalyst Life Services. Call today and get the help you need.
There's a new cowboy in town. 97.3 The Spur. 97.3 The Spur is Mansfield's country music station that plays the most music with no chatter. Mansfield's country music fans are moving to the new 97.3 The Spur. Brought to you by Mill Iron Auto Parts. You pull, you save. Route 39 in Shelby.
Help. When you fall and can't get help, you will lie on the floor for hours or days in constant, terrible anguish, which often results in a tragic outcome. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether at home,
I've fallen and I can't get up.
in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
or on the go.
Help! I'm in the park and I can't get up.
And batteries never need charging. Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-565-8116. That's 1-800-565-8116. Call now. 1-800-565-8116.
Welcome back to Sparking the Conversation. We're here with Karen Spires, who's the CEO of Foundations for Living here in Mansfield, and Chloe Montgomery, who's a residential therapist out at that facility. And you guys work with the youth, you work with adolescents, 10 through 18. Critical time of life to get to people. That's when lots of mental health disorders show up, and so important to get early treatment, Karen, right?
Yes.
And you guys are a for-profit organization, founded, if I remember right, in about 2005. And again, just to remind our audience, located out on Route 39 between Mansfield and Lucas.
Correct.
So the other thing we want to make sure we put up is if people want information about you or your programming, foundationsforliving.net is the website, and it should be on the screen right now. Ryan's got it up there, and very interesting to know about, as I say again, this little hidden gem here in Mansfield that I don't think we appreciate very well, but I think we need to do a better job of it.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity.
Right.
Well, you're on your website, you have a place for youth to thrive, and I can see why. I mean, they're coming in so broken. and you're just loving them, listening to them, building a safe place. And that kind of brings me to hope. Chloe, do you have a story that you can share with our viewers about, something positive as opposed to, hearing just the sadness of all the trauma that happened?
Yeah, I think there are little victories every day. And I get so excited. So like you said, they may come in hopeless or broken. I always do, screening tools with them to kind of look at where they're starting, whether that be with their trauma, substance abuse, depression, anxiety, and just watching them grow and their scores decreasing. It's incredible. And I love watching them discharge. When they successfully discharge and they return either to their home environment or maybe a new environment, and it's a brand new start, and just hearing their words that, I know that I am more than my trauma. I realize now that I deserve better. And that happens so often. And even just seeing, like I said, the little things in between, going maybe to a group and seeing someone who came in hopeless and, discouraged, just laughing and smiling with their peers and really socializing and coming out of their shell. It's awesome to see the progress.
I would think that's got to be the reason that keeps you guys going when you see a lot of sadness at the front end, and that there is hope on the back end, if you will. And I'm sure, we know mental health challenges can be a battle, and you have starts and fits, and you do well, and then you don't do so well. But congratulations for what you guys do to help the youth of our community and our state and really the region. The kids come from all over the country, literally, right?
Yep.
I think you told us, Karen, how many states?
Like 5 other states, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that is a beautiful thing that you're here, they're here, and truly, Foundations for Living. It's just a place where people need to look at their website. So if anybody relatives out of state, just having struggles with their children that are just not the normal struggles, we have places that can help them. And ladies, we thank you so much for this. Your stories of hope and giving of yourselves every day to the youth. That's building our future.
Thank you for educating us about what options really are here right in our backyard. Yeah. And hope the community knows more about Foundations for Living than when we started today. So thank you guys very much for being a part of Sparking the Conversation. We'll be right back with more Sparking the Conversation and our memory moment right after this minute.
The need for mental health and addiction services is rising. Life is getting harder. Our day-to-day living situation can be difficult to handle at times, and the pandemic certainly is not helping. Catalyst Life Services has a mental health and addiction urgent care available for all ages. Get the care you need when you need it and without an appointment. If you're facing the challenges of addiction or mental illness, know you can find help at Catalyst Urgent Care. It's the help you need when you need it the most.
Does shopping for bladder control products have you feeling like you need someone to be on the lookout for you? Now you have your privacy back. We're HDIS, and we home deliver bladder control products directly to you. We're always on the lookout for you. You get free shipping in plain, unmarked boxes. So your private matters, stay private. We understand how you feel. For over 35 years, we've delivered bladder control products to millions of Americans, just like you. You don't have to worry about incontinence any longer. Call now for your free product sample pack and over $45 in money-saving coupons. At HDIS, we're always in stock. We carry all brands in hundreds of styles and sizes. You'll be sure to get what you need, guaranteed.
For your free sample pack with your free catalog and $45 in money-saving coupons and free product samples, call 800-905-9814. That's 800-905-9814.
Welcome back to Sparking the Conversation. We are sharing a memory moment today about our upcoming birthday walk. That's going to be on Saturday, May 21st.
Right.
But we, in the month of May, last year, we campaigned for something specific because it's Danny's birthday month, and we'd like to see how we can pay forward. Last year, we had donations made towards Ohio State's Behavioral Health Immediate Care Clinic. We raised in the month of May over $52,000. It was incredible. Our community, everybody was just great.
Yeah, what a credit to our community and to the folks who support us and who back what we're doing. We try to pick what we think is a worthy way to try to fundraise during the month of May, because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And this year we've got a really special one too.
We do.
Something really exciting coming to Mansfield. And in 2022, Akron Children's Hospital is going to break ground on and build an 11,000 square foot standalone adolescent children's behavioral health center on the same campus there, right adjacent to their new facility, their nice new facility there on Trimble Road. And it's going to have all kinds of programming for young people here in our community.
Absolutely, and it's they can be treated and talking to counselors there, and Akron is just pulling out all the stops for it. They've built this in other communities, correct?
They have. They built one in Youngstown, which is kind of the north end of their footprint, and we're the south end of the footprint, and so they're building one here, and it's really exciting because that is all levels of care, partial hospitalization and intensive outpatient therapy, psychological therapy, mental health counseling, and other mental health treatment, including medical management of mental health disorders. So it's really exciting, and we're really hoping that our community can get behind that. And we'd love to raise a similar kind of amount of money, if not more.
That would be incredible.
Because we would like to support that organization coming to our community, and they're making a commitment to us, and we want to make a commitment back to them as a Mansfield community.
Well, and the best part about it, we just had Foundations for Living on talking about the kids and the kids that need treatment, and this is just a great place if they just need to, the problems that develop when they're young, and if you can get it when they're young, from what the professionals say, you're how many steps ahead?
Right. Well, what we know is that mental health disorders begin to show up in kids really as early as 15, 16 years old, and some even earlier. Unfortunately, from what some of them go through, as you heard in our earlier segment here. But I think it's really important that we attack those mental health problems and treat and identify those mental health problems early, so we can have the best result for the young people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're really super excited about that. We're really excited about being able to bring you more information about that. So watch our Facebook page.
Yes.
If you want to do Mental Health Awareness Month fundraisers on Facebook or on Instagram, that would be amazing. Set up one that 33 Forever is the beneficiary. And we can promise you that money is going to eventually go to Akron Children's Hospital Behavioral Health Clinic here in Mansfield.
Exactly, and we're going to have them on the show as well. And as Jeff said, go ahead, watch our Facebook, sign up for our birthday walk. We really want to have over 300 people this year. We had 200 last year. It's fun. It's informational.
It's a great family day.
It is. Pizza, all kinds of fun stuff, and we just would love to see you there. And again, thank you for all you guys have done to support us, and we look for another incredible May Mental Health Month fundraiser.
We do. So thanks again for joining us here for Sparking the Conversation for another good episode. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week when we have another great guest. Thank you.